Yeah.
A nice little New York year.
It's only right.
It's only right. What's up, y'all?
Welcome, everyone. And I just want to get right to it because I'm sure there's a lot to talk to. But in case y'all forgot, I'm Ozymandias here with Zoom, Clown Prince, Magneto, and... Wait, he hasn't even chosen a villain name.
Hold on. Yes, he has.
Yes, I did. I did like weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
on
right.
the DMs.
So, well, first of all, let's introduce who we have. we're just like, yeah, another villain. Nobody knows who he is.
That's usually how the movies start anyway.
Right. It's like, so we have, all right, this is my very first question, actually, because I don't want to offend anybody. Do I introduce you as a comedian or a comic?
Comic.
You know what? I don't care. I don't know why comics get so offended by that. I don't see a difference. It's just
they
same.
do, right? I was like, you know what? Like, what if I'm like, oh, here's Chris Killian, the comedian.
He just logs off.
Yeah, he's just
those are the kinds of comedians that get Me Too'd later on in their career.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
I mean, they're just way too serious about it.
Right. Oh, I can't wait to get into that because comics/comedians. I don't even know anymore.
Whoever you identify with.
Right.
I generally say like when I'm talking about it, I say comics a lot because I know what I'm talking about. But if I'm referencing it to other people, I'll generally say comedians because I also work for comicbook.com. And so sometimes people will, confuse those two words. So a lot of times I'll just say comedian for that reason.
So there you go. Maybe it's just best if I just let you introduce yourself. I think that's proper, right?
Give us your villain monologue.
There you go. Yeah.
There it is. Stealing your thunder already, man.
Go ahead, man. Introduce yourself, what you do, where you live, your social security, the basic stuff.
Yeah. All that good stuff. I'm in Nashville, actually, and my name's Chris Killian, and I work for comicbook.com. I'm the host of some of their videos and a daily show that we do called Daily Distraction that I kind of just describe as like, I don't know, like weekend update for nerds. Is kind of what I aim for.
That's lit.
That's dope.
Weekend update for nerds. That's great.
It is dope. I was literally watching I watched like 20 of them yesterday, like on the comicbook.com page YouTube channel, because I'm like I want to see what this guy's all about. And yeah, like you're there, and I want to thank you because I know you wake up. You told me you wake up really fucking early for that shit.
So, it's stupid.
What, 4 a.m.?
Yeah, it's stupid. I hate it. You never get used to it. You never ever I've been doing this for like 3 years now, and I still fucking can't stand it.
I was gonna say, like, yo,
can you talk to somebody and be like, maybe not 4, give me like 6?
Yeah. So I got used to doing it that early anyways because we wanted it to be a morning show initially, and the studio where we filmed it from before the whole coronavirus is like an hour and a half from my house, so I was commuting every day.
Oh.
Yeah, so I would have to get up that early anyway, and so then when we all kind of got stuck at home, I was already kind of used to having that routine, so I just thought, well, let's just air it earlier and see if the views are any better, and it is. It seems like the earlier that we air it, the better it is. But generally speaking, like by the time I write it and then film it and then send it off to the editor and it gets edited, I mean the earliest. Like I started like 4 a.m. and the earliest that we ever seem to get it done is like 10. It's like it's done right, right when it gets posted.
Man, those editors, they don't sleep, they wait.
Oh, I know. The guy that I work with, he's up when I'm up. Like I'm immediately texting him being like, "Do you think I can say this or am I going to get fired?"
That's funny. But yeah, dude, like cuz I was going to say you're a geek like us, right? You like talking about that stuff. So I was sure. He wakes up 4 a.m. to talk about shit that he loves to do. But clearly, no. It's just like, fuck. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Waking up at 4. It's like,
It does not matter.
I'm waking up at 4 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love a lot of things, but I just don't want to wake up at 4 to do it.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good point. So
yeah, that's right. You can say that about a lot of things. Yeah. But I love playing video games, but I'm not
right.
I'm not getting up at 4 in the morning.
I'll stay up till 4 a.m. to do that.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Yeah,
there's a difference. So yeah, So, dude, are we going with Carnage because of the red hair, or are we going with because of the last name Killian?
You know what?
What are
You
we
guys go
doing?
with whichever one you want. I don't really care. Has
You
anybody
gotta
seen Carnage
choose,
on
bro.
here yet?
Nope. You'll be the
so
first.
Carnage is way cooler than Killian.
And Aldrich Killian.
Yeah.
So we'll go Carnage.
All right, so we'll go with that. But all right, so then I have to ask, what did you think of Woody Harrelson's wig at the end of Venom?
Well, I thought you watched my show. You know what I think.
Oh,
we got you. We got you.
Damn. All right, y'all. Take care. This was nice. I'm logging off.
I'm muting him for
it was-
2 minutes.
It was the worst, man. He looked like little orphan Annie.
Oh my goodness.
So it's just disrespectful, right, to redheads. It's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Well, I mean, nobody cares if they're disrespecting us anyway. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I feel you.
People
I feel you.
That's like the only word people still get away with saying. Is
Ginger.
That's the only word you can say that you won't get canceled for anymore.
So do we like? So are you like kind of telling us like, yo, we need to stop saying like ginger? It's offensive.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you have like an A at the end of it, it's cool. But the hard ER.
Oh my god.
What's good, my ginger?
What's good, my ginger? I'm using ginger from now on.
Yeah, ginger's way better. I get less offended at ginger.
Ginger.
Oh my god.
Then
That's
you're
our
like,
first.
all right. It's not derogatory.
And then you
Yes.
hear it out in
Oh,
public.
we're friends. Okay. That's cool.
We're friends. So tell me, how did you get in? Like, how did you get into being a comic / comedian? Like, what incited? Was it like a joke you said in like the 5th grade, and you're like, oh, these people are laughing? Like, or were you the class clown, or was it kind of just like?
I mean, yeah, I kind of always was. I mean, you have to be when you're a ginger, because
when you're a ginger.
Because you gotta roll with the punches, and so yeah, I was always a little.
I mean,
bit
yeah, like you guys are always discriminated against, so it's like you have to step
Absolutely.
up for your people. Yeah,
I've yet to.
like we're the only people on the planet who don't have souls, apparently. So
I completely disagree with that. I have yet to meet a ginger without a soul or any kind of.
well, I didn't
humanity.
realize that you knew all about the souls. So Ariel,
Yeah,
thank
I
you.
know about it. I know a few redheads.
Thank you, Ariel. I appreciate that very
No
much.
problem, man.
But I actually didn't want to be a comedian growing up. I wanted to be a pro wrestler, but
Wow.
Oh, okay.
But I'm
We have
real
all these like
small.
wrestlers on the show, man.
I know,
I know.
dude. Like we've literally gotten. I guess there's a connection, right? Like if you typically like comic books and superheroes, you more tend to lean to the side of wrestling. I guess.
I
Yeah,
think
I
they're
think
one and
so.
the same.
Yeah, there's definitely.
Especially if you grew up in like the 80s and 90s when the like wrestlers were a lot more colorful and they were like
Right.
more like
Yeah.
characters, you know. So yeah, I mean I don't know how you could grow up and see somebody like Hulk Hogan or Ultimate Warrior and not feel like that's like a comic book come to life.
Absolutely,
I
especially
see what you
Ultimate
mean, right?
Warrior.
Especially Ultimate Warrior.
Especially him. He look nuts.
So who's your favorite wrestler of all time?
Oh God, that's a loaded question, man. That changes just depending on my mood. There are wrestlers that I think are like way underrated and don't give like they don't get the credit they deserve, because I think everybody's got like the usual ones. I mean, everybody's like
Right.
Shawn Michaels,
All
The
right.
Rock, Stone
yeah,
Cold.
Stone Cold, The Rock, all those guys. But there are definitely guys that I think are more underrated and undervalued. But I don't know. It really changes depending on my mood.
Fine. How about SmackDown side and Raw side? Who's your
Like-
favorite from each?
Like right now or like of all
No,
time?
like all time.
Okay, well, I mean, they go back and forth between
Right.
there.
It's like remember the draft? They had the drafts. Like
I
Oh, that was
like,
great.
oh,
That was
yeah,
always
yeah.
great.
I definitely grew up a Hulkamaniac. I mean, so
All right.
I got like videos of me ripping like Walmart sacks off my chest as like a 5-year-old kid. So
yeah, and Chris Hemsworth just did an interview where he's like, I'm bulking up even more. Like I'm Ox now, but I'm gonna be even more for the Hulk Hogan.
I mean,
role.
he
And I'm
has
just
to
like,
be
damn.
right. Like,
Yeah,
like,
Hulk Hogan was
I
a
kind of
fucking
talked about
tank.
that on the show a couple days
Right.
ago. That like when Hulk was like Thunder Lips, like back in Rocky 3. I mean, that dude was massive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his
Chris Hemsworth
arms
is
look.
gonna play young Hulk. He's gonna have to be huge.
Yeah,
Yeah, that shit's gonna be like. I remember, right?
And I
like,
don't think Hemsworth has been as big as the biggest I've ever seen him was Thor 1. I mean,
Yeah.
in Thor 1, that dude was big.
He looked like a
Right.
strawberry.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
he
slimmed
was-
down a lot for the other Thor movies, but
Absolutely.
he's gonna have to get back to at least that big. He said that he was gonna be like the biggest he's ever been. So
right, because I think in Infinity War, he wasn't as big, but he was very like cut in Infinity War. Like he was shredded.
He's always been in good shape.
He got shredded.
Right. Oh yeah, right.
Hemsworth is a perfect man.
Basically, I mean, the only two flaws I have with Hemsworth was in Thor 1 was the eyebrows, which was just like, what are you doing? Like, why does he have blonde eyebrows? I'm like,
that
all
was
right, whatever.
weird.
Usually
And
that
then-
goes hand in hand, though.
I never noticed that.
I didn't even notice that either.
It didn't.
Wow.
It didn't
What
fit.
the hell?
What?
Yeah, it's
he
true.
just looks so weird.
It's
No,
real
it makes
strange.
sense.
The fact that they dyed his eyebrows blonde, it's off-putting.
And they noticed it, and they're like,
Yeah.
okay, we're never doing that again.
Yeah, don't ever do that again. I
And
would be
then-
surprised if Chris put that in his contract. Like, I'm
Never
not
do
gonna
that
come
again.
back as Thor if you guys dye my
I'm never
eyebrows.
dyeing my eyebrows.
Right.
Imagine
but,
And then
But yeah,
Endgame.
he's always been in good shape, but I think the only difference between like the first one and the rest of them are probably steroids. That dude
Yeah.
he's just ginormous.
He really is.
You'll never be able to convince me that most of the Marvel guys don't take steroids. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
I don't know.
Thank you.
What about-
no?
Oh, okay.
No,
Hold on. Yeah,
let's do
yeah,
it.
right.
Let's do
Let's
it.
do
All
it.
right,
they do.
let's go to the board.
Who said I'm not on steroids and I'm just gonna get amped up right
Clearly
now?
you are. All right, you need to calm down.
Ariel, what were you
Like-
gonna say? Let's go to the board.
No,
Chris-
I was gonna say in
Chris
terms
Evans.
of no, I mean across the board
Chris
in terms
Evans
of
definitely
entertainment. The same could be said about wrestling. Scott Steiner, I don't know if you guys know who that is.
Look. There's a certain amount of mass that a human body can have on it at any. You're a certain height, and you can only reach a certain weight without help. I mean, that's just the fact.
That's true.
I've heard people say that you can either be cut or you can be big, right? But you can't be big and cut at the same time without steroids. I think that's a pretty good, way to look at that stuff.
Yeah, I mean Robert Downey Jr. Like that dude is fucking.
Yeah. Like he's normal.
Like,
He's not on steroids.
No, I
That
think
guy
the
just-
opposite. Like he was definitely juicing for his role. Same thing
Shut
with Paul
up.
Rudd. Same thing with Paul
He's
Rudd.
talking shit. He's talking shit.
You can get a body like Robert Downey Jr. or Paul Rudd just by not eating carbs. But
Legit.
like guys like Chris Hemsworth, I remember when Chris Evans was first cast as Captain America, and he did this interview where somebody asked him what his routine was. He's like, well, I just stop every 20 minutes and would do push-ups.
That's
And I was
bullshit.
just like, there is some nerd out there who they are going to
Okay.
take that to heart, and they're stopping every 20 minutes.
Just
they're
pumping
really
out
fast by
100.
doing push-ups, and they can't understand why they don't look like
Yo,
Captain America.
just
It's
in the middle
bullshit.
of class, just
Yeah,
pumping out.
hold
Teacher's
hold on,
like,
teacher.
Okay, Chris Evans.
now.
teacher's like, what the fuck are you doing?
But
He's
yeah,
like-
those guys, the guys that get real massive, like really fast, like Christian Bale, for example. Like Christian Bale went from the Machinist, where he was
He
like
was-
120 pounds, to Batman
Yeah.
Begins in like 6 months.
He
You
went.
can't put that
He
kind of
gained
mass on-
70.
Right.
Yeah, he gained 70 pounds of muscle because in the Machinist
But-
he was about 125, and for Batman Begins he was 190.
Yeah,
That's
you can't
wild.
do it.
Obviously,
help.
the main difference between let's say guys like us doing it and them, they're being monitored all
Sure.
the time, right?
Sure.
So it's like, like they're
Yeah.
doing it.
And I'm not saying I'm against it. I don't
Right, there's
care.
nothing wrong with that, right?
Yeah. I don't care at all. Do it all you want. I almost think that everybody, like, if you're gonna play professional sports or play a superhero, it's almost mandatory. You have to take steroids. You should.
That's why, not to go into sports or anything, but I think when the MLB, when you had guys like Sosa and McGuire juicing,
Mhm.
that was a show, man. I was all for it.
I remember.
Ding,
Saturday-
ding,
Saturday Night Live
ding.
had this sketch back in the early '90s about like the some sort of Olympics where they actually are allowed to use steroids, and the guy's about to lift the barbell, and then his arms rip off, and blood's like spraying out of it. And I was like, I would watch that Olympics in a heartbeat.
Yeah, steroids they're the cheat code to the game that make the game more fun.
But okay, so you stop the life of trying to become a pro wrestler, so you don't need to take steroids, right? So
I
what
mean,
happened?
I don't know if you can tell, but I mean, all the time. Look at these shoulders. You think
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, you look good, man. You look
think
good.
this just
you
happens?
look good.
Oh, thanks, man. No, I actually did. I did wrestle for a few years, and I broke my back doing it.
Jesus.
Oh,
And
wow.
then afterwards, I was
Spinal?
like, well, I was like,
Spinal.
I know. I was like, I actually should probably just not do this, and find something else to do. So I started doing stand-up comedy pretty close afterwards, and I tell people I just swapped physical pain for emotional pain.
Dude, I have
deep.
to give you props because
Mad deep.
I wouldn't like have the balls to like go up on stage, even if I say a joke and that's funny. But like, let's say I'm looking at one particular person that didn't find it funny and they're just staring at me with the straightest face. I'll just walk off right there and then I'll be like, yeah, no, I'm done.
Ruins your whole day. It
Does
really
it?
does.
Like,
I can remember specific times that I've been destroying in a room full of 300 people. Like everybody's laughing except one motherfucker up front with his arms crossed, just staring at me.
Laugh, bitch, laugh.
It probably doesn't have anything to do with me. Him and his
Right.
wife probably got in a fight before the show, and he's
Yeah.
but still,
tight.
it'll ruin your whole day. It's just one. It's the same thing on Daily Distraction. You know, there'll be hundreds of nice comments or people, being engaging about stuff and being cool, and then there's one dickhead who will come on there and be like, "Why does this guy have a job?" And I'll be like,
"No, you're just like raging, right? You're like,
it's one. And it doesn't matter that 100 people were just nice to me.
Yeah.
You always look at the negative side.
It's the one person that you'll just focus in on and just drive you crazy.
Do you kind of deal with criticism and negativity the same way, both on the stand-up side and on the comic book page side, or like how do you tend to? Because I saw you actually. Hold on, let me try to find it. I saw you violate someone on like the comic book page, and I was like, damn, that was just
you clap back,
ruthless. Yeah, it's like. It was on the comic book page, but you commented on your own like account.
Yeah. I actually don't run the comic book account. So whenever they post, that's not me.
Oh,
got you. So you're right. Okay, got you. I'll find it. But
he goes from his personal account like, this isn't a burner. My name here. What's up?
Yeah, right.
I'll own it all.
Yeah. All right. You guys continue talking. I'm gonna find this.
Okay.
Shit.
I want to know what I said because I
know. Me too.
I know what you mean.
I
Like, for the memes and stuff like we post, like I'll think it's like the most funniest, like the funniest meme, and everyone's like laughing, crying emojis, and one guy's like, "This isn't funny," and I'll be like,
"Yeah."
Hey,
I just don't
screenshot,
understand
send
that
it to us.
mentality.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that I don't get, and I've developed thick skin over the years, and so it really doesn't bother me. Like I don't lose sleep over it anymore or anything.
Right.
But what I don't understand are like those kinds of people. Like if you're gonna go to a comedy show, like and not have a good time, go find something that you want to do. That's all. Like go. I don't know. Go clean your gun or something. I don't know what it is you like, but go do it.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, But it's the same thing with like internet comments when you do these shows. It's like. When I watch something on YouTube that I'm not into, like I never take time out of my day to
not once.
Makes no sense.
I just go watch something else. I'm like, well, this isn't for me. This is not my guy, whatever. And I just go watch something else. There's no reason to be hateful about it. Yep. And so I end up feeling more sorry for people like that who feel like they have to voice that, like clearly something's going on in their life.
For sure, yeah.
That they feel some sort of empowerment by going on and tearing down other people. And I mean, and that makes me sad for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't find it yet, but I remember what posted. Oh, my bad, y'all. It was the Swamp Thing revival post. And because people were like, they were like, a lot of people were commenting like, oh, like I thought the CW picked it up. And,
I actually remember that comment that somebody somebody said on there that was like, I think he deleted it. That's why you can't find it.
Oh,
He
there you
totally
go.
deleted it.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
he's like
violated
it's
so much.
it's surprising that people run a comic book account
Yeah,
don't
he
know
was
this
like,
kind of stuff.
It's surprising that somebody who's running the comic book account doesn't know that CW picked this up. And I was like, what's surprising to me that you would comment on this video without watching it? Because
Ooh.
I explain all that in the video.
Ooh.
He deleted his comment because he's like,
And he
oh,
deleted it,
fuck.
Fucking nerd.
Fuck out of here.
Like, yeah, I remember seeing that. I was like, oh,
Well, the
Chris
whole
Killian
issue was that I
clapping
was
back.
talking about why HBO Max should revive Swamp Thing.
Right, yeah.
And he's on there being like, well, CW's already going to revive it. And that's the misunderstanding is
Right.
that CW's not reviving it.
They're just
going to
re-airing season
edited
1.
version of the first season
Right.
because they need content because of all the coronavirus delays. That's all it is. But they're not reviving it and funding a second season.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly, dude. Like, and we started because we're getting to the point too where some of our posts like do really well. First of all, we hate Instagram's algorithm.
That's
that
the
shit is
worst.
terrible.
It's horrendous.
But so
I don't think they'll ever go back.
I know.
Yeah.
But
I just
we
want
sometimes
chronological order. That's all I want.
That's all everybody wants.
Is that too much to ask for? Like, really?
Yeah.
Like, what we only noticed some posts starting to do good 4 or 5 days afterwards, and it's like, I don't care about this post anymore. Like, I posted
Didn't
this
this
5
happen?
days ago.
This happened after Facebook bought them, right? But
Probably.
Probably.
Facebook has a tendency to ruin shit.
Fucking Zuckerberg.
Thanks, Mark.
But
it's all for the ads.
to my
For the
point,
ads.
to my point, yeah, like we're the same way. Some of our posts like they do really well in terms of views and likes, and that also leads to like comments. And I stopped going through our comment sections just because I want to answer each and every single one like that annoys me. But I'm just like, what's the point? I'm like this one
That's what they
douchebag
want.
today. This one douchebag today, like we posted something on the Josh Whedon thing. And how
With
like
Gal.
What's
yeah,
the Joss Whedon thing?
like with that that scene in the fan made Justice League film where he had Barry land on top of Diana's breast.
Oh yeah. About
Yeah.
the Gal Gadot not wanting
Right.
to be
Yeah.
fictionalized.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah.
So I made a meme to it, and the guy comments, "Wow, like you guys really hate Marvel," and I'm like, dude, this is not a Marvel post. This is about a scummy thing that Josh Whedon supposedly did. He's like, yeah, no, but some of your recent posts, you guys seem to favor DC more than Marvel. I'm like,
It's like, what are you talking about?
what's
dude?
going on right now about Marvel? Nothing, bro. Everything
but literally, there's no Marvel
have
news.
no
There's been
news.
no news.
Oh yeah. Freaking DC's been keeping me in a job. I have. I mean, if people come up now being like, and I love Marvel, but if somebody's got something to say about me being like a DC guy, I'd be like, fuck yeah, I am. They're keeping my bills paid right now.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, dude, that's the thing right now, right? Like you can't. There's no way to do stand up, or I mean, unless you do like sort of like Chappelle's last joint where it was like kind of like a drive-in thing, right?
That wasn't stand up either.
It wasn't. Right.
Chappelle
It was
had
more
something to say. Yeah, it's really crazy because I always felt like I was gonna have stand up to fall back on, and it never occurred to me that there would be a situation where I wouldn't be allowed to do stand up. So I think that like in the last like 4 months, there was when I was doing Distraction, and before that I was doing a show called The Get Up, which was kind of still the Distraction for comic book. But there was definitely a part of me that felt like this is redundant. This is so blah. I'm just regurgitating the same thing and sending it out into the abyss of the internet, and it doesn't mean anything, right?
Yeah.
And the last 4 months though has kind of changed my perspective a little bit on that because I got, all these things got canceled. I couldn't do stand up anymore, which I never thought was going to be a thing, that I couldn't go out in public. And,
Right.
And to add to that, like I got like I've literally got probably thousands of messages on Instagram from people like thanking me for distraction and giving them
Damn.
something
Wow,
to look
that's
forward
awesome.
to every day.
Yeah.
And and when once I started getting messages like that, I mean, routinely, it's hard not to take it a little bit more seriously and be grateful for the opportunity
For
to
sure.
do that and to feel
Those
like
4 a.m. mornings, they matter. They count.
yeah. Well, and I don't think that people even realized that it was important to them until everything else started getting canceled.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean? That,
Yeah.
because all these
Everyone's
other
looking
things
for
got
content,
canceled.
dude.
Yeah, and I didn't. I kept, we got kicked out of our studio, and I set up a green screen, and I do it, from my bunker, or whatever, So
Right.
so that's that's been a big thing, and
That's awesome.
and seeing how that's affected people has kind of changed my outlook and has made me way more enthusiastic about doing the show maybe than I used to be.
Okay.
Right.
Nice.
So yeah, I was gonna ask, is like the way you're speaking about it, you seem a lot more enthusiastic about your stand-ups than you are of like doing the daily distractions. Like why is that the case though? It's just that like do you feel that stand-up, like this is my passion, like this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, that kind of thing?
I think that it was, I think for a long time, I kind of identified myself as that, I spent 10 years doing stand-up comedy and I've been doing daily distraction for I've been working at comic book now for about 4 years almost.
Nice.
So, so yeah, I think I've always identified myself more as a stand-up comic than a host, but it has shifted a little bit lately where, where I do feel like I like the fact that I can do distraction in my house and, and still put out content and still be creative and still, I wish I had a little more time to work on these things. I mean, nobody really appreciates. I mean, I get a lot of messages too about people talking about how they wish they could, have a job like that. And it is work. I mean, let me tell you, I mean, it's a cool job. I'm not complaining because I'm not like out doing construction or some shit like that. But at the same time, it's like, there's a reason why Weekend Update and The Daily Show and these, late night talk show hosts, there's a reason why they have like 20 writers. It's hard.
It's a lot of shit. Yeah.
It's hard to go through all this random geek news and then try to, make it funny somehow. It's,
right.
Just doing it by yourself. It's a struggle.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because you have to write this shit first of all, and then you have to read it. You have to deliver it in a way that's going to be entertaining for people.
Right.
Like that a lot of people are just like, oh, anyone could do. No, you got to have a certain characteristic about yourself to
charisma.
do
Yeah.
Yeah.
Work
It's not just anyone. So
it's definitely tougher than people I think give it credit for. But also to that point is when you watch like talk show hosts now, like everybody's kind of like on this even playing field, like, right? So like everybody's doing their shows from home.
Yep.
And watching those guys cut jokes without an audience there, I'm like, I've been doing this shit for years, guys. It ain't easy, is it? It ain't easy.
No.
You're like, I'm used to this. I'm used to this. Get used to it, Ellen.
Super awkward.
Well, that's why I started using a lot of those like movie cuts and shit to make my jokes.
Right.
Yeah. I like cutting over to stuff like that just because it breaks up the flow of these things because I don't have like an audience responding with laughter. Right. So I have to find something else to break that up sometimes.
Yeah. And I mean, we got lucky too because, doing a podcast is, I think, a bit easier than what you do with daily distractions, just because
anytime you have somebody to bounce off of, it's easier.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so what we've been doing,
always tough.
I mean, like you said, before DC just started dropping all this like amazing news on us, we had to resort to watching, we have a section of our show, a segment. Yeah. Was it really that bad? So some of our users would DM us like, oh, do this one, and like some shitty ass movies. And we would have to watch it,
and then see
get on the Zoom
really
call.
That bad.
And we did like 6 of them, I think.
The fucking pain it is to like rewatch Green Lantern. And
yeah. We just started a new series on comic book called In Defense Of, which is, so I already did.
You did BVS, right?
Yes, I saw that one.
Yes, or no, not Justice League, Batman versus Superman. That's right.
Yeah.
I did Batman versus Superman. But then we just wrapped on Batman and Robin, and
Yikes.
but I'm having to rewatch these things. Not only am I having to rewatch them, but I'm having to defend them.
You have to defend them.
Yeah, we can at least still say, yo, this shit is trash.
we have a trash meter, so it's like this is just unwatchable.
So I totally get it, having to rewatch this shit just to.
But it's in a way, like, although obviously this whole thing sucks, like at least we still find things to keep people occupied and keep ourselves occupied. You know, it's a good thing. But so I have to ask, now that we brought it up, we brought BVS up. And that's the whole reason, you know, we got to talking and we got you on here today, because I asked how you really felt about the movie.
Yeah.
And so I just want to ask, because we're what's called the Zack Vengers, right? We avenge Zack Snyder and his movie. But how did you ever think that the Snyder Cut was going to get released?
No,
never crossed your mind. It's like that. That's just not happening.
No, I mean, there was so much stuff behind the scenes going on with that,
right.
That I mean, because like my buddy BD was actually on set for that, so he's told me stories about some of the stuff that, you know, he heard, and there was so much stuff going on behind the scenes that I really thought Warner Brothers had swept this under a rug. Once they got rid of Zack Snyder, I thought that was the end of it. I thought it was going to get locked away in a vault, and I didn't think we'd ever see it. So it was a really, really welcome surprise that we will. You know, I'm excited, and I stand by what I said in defense of. I remember going to the theater and I hated Batman versus Superman the first time I watched it. I could
Chris, thanks for joining us. I think that's, I'm joking.
First time I watched it, I could not. And I took my son, and we both were like, "What?" We were so. But the more I watched it, the more I kind of developed a respect for it. And then when I watched the Ultimate Edition, it was like, dude, I was really on board with it.
It's crazy how an extra 30 minutes changes the whole, like for some people it's not a drastic change, but like for others that I tell them, like, watch the Ultimate Edition, some of them come back to me and they're like, wow, they're like, what the fuck, everything makes so much more sense. I mean,
my son thought the same thing, right? He's 13, and he was like, this makes it so much better. And we're actually like super pumped now about Zack Snyder, because then you think, you know, if Justice League, if we only saw like 30% of what Zack shot, you know, and this is going to be a 3.5 to 4 hour, you know, like version. I mean,
what's not to love?
Can I correct you real quick on that 30%? From the last time I read, it was only 10.
10?
10%.
Oh,
10.
I didn't hear that. I thought it was. I mean, which makes it even.
Dude, it's like.
But I said this on Distraction. The teaser, the Gal Gadot teaser with Darkseid was better than the whole theatrical version.
100. So our producer Ariel does not watch any trailers of any kind. Can you believe that?
Well, Ariel, why?
No, it's just I feel. I guess I'm an idiot. No, I think some trailers give away too much.
I gotta say, I actually kind of agree with Ariel a little bit. If I didn't have to watch these things for distraction, I wouldn't either. I still remember when I first got my driver's license, and I drove to the theater on a whim and decided to watch a movie with my brother, and all we went in on was the poster for Jeepers Creepers, right? And it was just a creepy poster. I didn't know anything about the movie. I hadn't seen the trailer, and I went in and I loved it. I loved it because I didn't know anything about it. I don't know if it holds up today, but at the time, I loved it. Right. And I liked that experience of going to see a movie not knowing anything about it. I honestly think, like, I was hoping that they weren't going to release a trailer for Endgame, because I like at this point with
that would have been dope.
Yeah, I actually made a joke about how I thought they should do a trailer of just Kevin Feige swimming in money. That's just like, hey, Endgame's coming out. You're going to go see it.
Right. It's like, who's not going to see it? The Infinity War was the trailer for that.
Absolutely. Like, yeah, absolutely. People were going to go see it. So you didn't even need one. But I do wish we could get back to that a little bit, because I agree that I think things get
A little carried away.
yeah, well, they get spoiled. Like, it would have been nice to know that I'm blanking on his name for Doomsday. It would have been nice to know that he wasn't going to be in Batman.
That's one of the points.
Or even Wonder Woman as a whole.
Right,
Just
or
another
Wonder
show.
Woman. Yeah, that's a
Imagine.
great.
The Wonder Woman would have probably had the same effect. I think that
If
Spider-Man
we-
had
if
when
we saw Batman versus Superman, not knowing Wonder Woman was going to be appearing.
right.
I mean, that's on the Marvel side of things. I think that would be like the next big Marvel movie, and then Wolverine pops up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Could you
Yeah.
imagine? People would lose their shit.
Yeah, I think also with Civil War, if they didn't have Spider-Man
in the
in
trailer.
the trailer, dude, the theater would have been screaming for
It
like
would have erupted. Yeah.
erupted.
Oh, 100%. And so I mean, Ariel's got a little bit of.
He does have a point.
He does 100%.
It's just I'm wrong. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. He has a
It's
point.
right.
It's a great point, well taken, but he's still wrong. So it's okay.
But I haven't watched a trailer for anything that I'm interested in watching since about 08, 09.
Wow, that's some dedication.
I've avoided all trailers for Endgame, Infinity War. These guys know if they get any kind of word of a trailer coming out, I log off. I lay
We have
low.
a separate chat just for.
Yeah, you're right. Spoilers. Just so he's
Spoilers
not in
chat.
it. Yeah.
That's hilarious. I will say, I tried to be very respectful of that on my show. I feel like
Of
when it
course.
comes to spoilers and stuff, I don't usually talk about them. I try to I talk the bare necessity about some of those things.
Yeah,
Right.
especially like with a popular show, like a new episode just comes out, like you're not gonna talk about like all spoilers right away after the show, or if you are, you're at least gonna put right in the beginning like big letters, spoiler warning,
Spoilers.
like, and if you're still watching after that, like that's on you.
A couple of days ago, I did a spoiler for Black Widow, and people were in the comments being like, "Bro, that's not even a spoiler." And I was like, "Well, that's how careful I am about it." I don't
Well,
anybody.
it's funny.
Like
it's funny
Black
you
Widow is
mention
gonna
that.
be in the movie.
It's funny you mentioned that because the thing that you're discussing, Ariel's actually the one that sent it to us. He's like, "Great, the whole movie is spoiled for me," and then he just logged off. I was like,
Wait, what
and
movie
then,
was
and then
that?
Black Widow.
Oh, Black Widow. Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
So-
because
We can
you know
actually
they.
talk about it out in the open if Ariel knows already.
I already know. Florence Pugh is she's gonna get the mantle now.
So it like Ariel after because I get upset when you say spoilers because it just like it's just a trigger. I have like it just triggers me. So I got upset when he said it, but then after the fact I was like, wait, he has a point. Like they just basically said like, oh.
No, the
one way or
director
another.
at that. The director was just like, yeah, she's gonna pass the baton on to her. And it's just,
we're-
I thought that was a weird thing to
Right.
say. Like, why don't and some people were like, well, duh, it's not even a spoiler. And I'm like, it kind of is. We didn't know if Florence Pugh was going to be murdered in that movie.
exactly.
Right. Now we know, and we also know now, like, or at least they're gonna explain. They're gonna have to explain where the fuck she's been when all this other.
Yeah, that's
Shit
what
has
I
been
said.
going on.
I was
Yeah.
like, where's she been the whole time? She wasn't in the
Word.
Infinity War. She wasn't in Endgame.
I'm pretty sure she
Even
got
if
snapped.
well, even if she got snapped,
Ooh. Oh,
She
but
was-
where was she in Infinity War? Yeah.
about, right?
Yeah.
I'm
But
not writing the movie. I'm not writing this one, guys.
Let's write it. Let's all be like let's take out our
They're
pens.
probably just gonna end up like going back and trying to change some stuff, like they always do. Like
she'll be in Russia somewhere, and that's why
Yeah.
she was distracted
Yeah.
dealing with
Captain,
something else.
Nothing infuriated me more than Captain Marvel and the way they tried to change history in that movie.
What do you mean?
Captain Marvel, or the fact that they're trying to act like she's the first superhero they've ever seen. Agent Coulson had Captain America cards. What the crap are they talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, the first Avenger, right? That's what they were
Yeah,
calling her.
Oh, yeah.
basically.
Yeah, but
Because they were
I
saying-
think what they mean is that the Avengers Initiative didn't
yeah.
necessarily start until Fury typed it up.
Yeah, but they treated her like she was the first superhero they'd ever seen. And I'm like, you guys literally had a superhero fighting Nazis 50 years ago. What are you talking about?
So what's
I didn't write on that either. I don't know.
Chris, what's your favorite? I'm gonna like hit you with a couple of questions now because
Sure,
I'm
sure,
interested. I'm interested in everything right now that you have to say. A,
really nice. Thank you. I don't get that.
A, favorite MCU movie, and then B, favorite Marvel movie.
Oh,
Because
man.
I watched my favorite MCU and favorite Marvel movie the other day.
I think overall, my favorite MCU movie is probably Civil War.
Oh
Wow.
I just feel like there's so
Wow.
much.
Wow.
Wow.
I just think that it's just such a well-rounded movie, and I mean, and I popped hard for Spider-Man and Black Panther both showing up in that, and so I like that one a lot. But I think as far as like movies that really surprised me, I love Thor Ragnarok. I think that movie is just great.
Well, Junior hates it because it made him laugh.
It was too funny.
It was too funny.
It's too much.
There was only one thing. There was one thing that I wish Taika Waititi had done differently as like a comedian, like that I thought was too far. But if he'd done it differently, I could have really appreciated it. Was when Bruce Banner jumps out of the ship and turns into Hulk, but
he
then
died.
just like splats onto the bridge.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that would have killed Bruce Banner, so that's stupid. But what I think would have been great is if he would have turned into Hulk and he would have been naked. Like, because
He was just showing his ass.
yeah, like Hulk's fighting naked, because like that's something that nobody ever explains the physics of how his pants stay on.
That's true.
That's a good
And
point.
But they would have to change the rating of that movie for sure.
Well, I
Well,
mean,
no, they showed his
Oh,
ass in the movie.
yeah,
I'm kidding.
there's ways to work around with cameras. Yeah.
All right, so then favorite DC, just
Wait,
favorite.
favorite,
I'm so sorry.
you said favorite Marvel movie that's not MCU, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
That's got to go to maybe either Spider-Man 2 or
Everyone just shakes their head in approval.
yeah, maybe I should just stop while I'm ahead. Spider-Man 2 or maybe maybe Logan. One of those.
Oh, I'm watching the credits roll right now on that. I was playing that right now.
Logan was great. Logan was
Logan
great.
was good. What about Deadpool?
Deadpool's great. I love Deadpool. I actually think I like Deadpool 2 better than the first one.
I
But
have to rewatch both of them, but I think so
I'm a
too.
big Juggernaut mark though. So like the fact that they did Juggernaut right in that movie
Yeah,
meant a lot to me.
he was actually like, I get it. Obviously, it has to be CGI, but at least he was enormous and wasn't
Yeah,
like
he didn't look like a Muppet, so that
right.
was cool.
Like an X-Men 3.
Yeah.
Jesus, that was.
So now obviously hit us with DC and DCEU.
Okay, so DC, I mean, it's got to be The Dark Knight, or if not Dark Knight, then Batman '89 was like the first movie I ever saw in theaters as a kid. So I just love that movie so much.
I need to rewatch it, but I felt like it aged really well.
Yeah, it does. Well, unless you talk to my girlfriend about it, and then it doesn't. But,
Wait, which movie are you talking about?
Batman, Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton, yeah.
How crazy is it to you? Like, and specifically
might
now
be
that you're
getting
saying like, you know, you grew up with it as a kid and like that was the first thing. So it's like having him potentially come back. Like, how do you feel about that? It's like,
dude,
damn, it's full circle, right?
I had so many people at Comic Book like texting me when that news broke, asking me how I was feeling about that, because everybody knows that I'm a huge Batman nut, especially like Michael Keaton. So
That's awesome.
So yeah, dude, I'm stoked. Like, it doesn't a cameo. I mean, I've been kind of on the I've been championing for like Michael Keaton being old Bruce Wayne for a Batman Beyond movie for like years and years and years. I would love to see that. And from what I'm hearing, it's actually going to be it's going to kind of be like that, but he's going to be like mentoring Batgirl instead of McGinnis is what I've
You've heard it here first, guys.
And well, it's just rumors. I don't know that for sure. I don't.
Nope.
You
You
said it. You said it.
You broke the news, dude.
But and I'm even down for that. Just Michael Keaton back as Bruce Wayne in any form or fashion. I
Right.
wholeheartedly. So those would probably be my favorite DC movies. My favorite DCEU movie, probably Wonder Woman. Honestly,
Nice.
Solid.
Yep.
Except
No
for the
complaints.
last act.
Stop
Oh
it.
my God!
Stop
Shut
it.
up.
her chemistry though, Gal Gadot's chemistry with Chris Pine was so good.
Hell yeah.
I love the movie for that. I was pretty disappointed. I gotta say, I was pretty disappointed with Shazam. I had such high hopes for
Thank
Shazam.
you.
I thought it looked so good. I love the idea of, it being like the movie Big with Tom Hanks, but like a superhero version of that. And that was definitely the highlight of the movie. Every time he's like trying to figure out like what it's like to be not only a grown up, but a superhero with like Superman powers. Those were the best parts of the movie. But there were some spots in that movie that I was like, what the hell are they doing?
The best part of the movie was Freddy. Not even Shazam.
Yeah, I like Freddy.
Freddy was great.
But I liked Mark Strong as the villain, but some of his like villainous tendencies to me were just so over the top and just like made no sense.
Yeah, I think that I actually kind of like the movie. I'll go on, so I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that. But I think one of my flaws
of it, but
yeah, no, I get you. One of my flaws with it was, like we just said, like I feel like they just severely underused his acting and how good he actually can be as a villain and as just like a character in general. I think he's a phenomenal actor. Yeah, I think they just like fucked up with the writing and stuff like that and how they they made him too.
I agree. I don't think that was Mark's fault at all. But but he felt so hokey. Like the very beginning. The beginning is strange because he gets to see the wizard and he has that whole car wreck with his family and stuff, and they're driving like a station wagon, but then all of a sudden his family, like 20 years later, is like one of the richest families in the country, and it's like, what? They didn't have a wreck in their limo. What are you talking about?
I mean, 20 years can that's a long time.
That's not how rich families work, guys. Once you're rich, you usually stay rich and you come from rich. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
those are like, I'm glad you mentioned that because that's something I would have never really like thought of in a movie like that. Now I'm going to be paying attention to like every car people drive. I'm like, nope, this doesn't add up. This doesn't add up.
Yeah. Maybe I'm paying attention to stuff like that too much. But
so would you say that's a nitpick?
It bugs me.
Right. Would you say that's a nitpick on your part, or you're generally like, no, like this is the continuity error?
No, it's a continuity error. without explaining it, you know what I mean? Without having,
I get it.
And maybe there's some deleted scene out there that they cut that explains that. But it's like, did they win the lottery in that time period? Like, what happened? Like, what did they do? Did they strike oil? I don't know. Like,
maybe he's just cheap. Maybe he just wanted to. Oh, but I see what you mean. Like, explain that, right? Like, maybe in the future, like when they're in present day.
Yeah, how did they become so rich? Where now he's like.
Right. Yeah. They just jump to them being wealthy. I get that.
Yeah.
Damn, it must be fucking tough being a screenwriter. God damn, you gotta explain all this shit to please all these fucking people.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to explain. I know you're kidding around, but there are certain aspects of at least a villain's plot.
Yeah.
And us as villains,
that need to be
should
fleshed
know.
out, right?
Yeah, we need to know. We know what a good villain is. We know what drives the motivations home. It's just he was too mustache twirly.
Yeah, he felt too evil without real motivation.
Got it.
Yeah,
okay.
that's what it was.
Okay.
Like, I understand that he maybe has some daddy issues, but his dad didn't seem like that bad of a guy. So I don't know. It was just weird.
His brother was just an asshole. That's all.
Right.
Launch his brother through the fucking window.
I was also strangely weirded out by the fact that the wizard like would pull him in and was like, "Oh, never mind. You're not the right guy." But at no point did the wizard not hit up Clark Kent. You know what I mean? Where he's like, "Hey, you're pretty nice, and you already have these powers." I don't know.
Well, I mean, he just starts going through the list of like heroes that are already established. Clark Kent.
So isn't his powers magic?
Say what?
Isn't his powers like magic? Shazam's?
Shazam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably why.
It would negate Superman's powers because one of his weaknesses is magic. I don't know if you know that. It's not just kryptonite.
Yes.
It's also magic. So
yeah.
So if somebody brings magic around, he can just be like, Shazam.
Shazam.
I like the sass. Right. Shazam.
Gotta hit it with the sass.
So
You
you're
would've thought.
telling me if David Blaine pulls up, it's just like
It's
don't worry.
over.
It's
over
like
for
birthday
Superman.
Magician is like he pulls a rabbit out of a hat, and Superman's like, no.
No, yeah, right. He just starts like melting. He's like, what? So what the fuck? That's so funny, dude. That's
He's
so
like,
funny.
look what I can do.
Yeah, just like card tricks. Yeah.
Superman, pick a card. No, please.
No, I
Please,
can't.
no.
He's like nani. He's like nani.
Nani?
He's like goes anime. Yo. So I think let's take a quick break and we'll return.
All right, we back.
We back, bruv.
Yes, sir.
So Chris, I'm going back on your favorites list, and I have to ask you now about the Star Wars sequel. What did you feel about it? Did you like it?
Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker?
The trilogy. The
Oh,
sequel trilogy.
A sequel trilogy. Okay.
No, not really.
Wait, Chris, hold on. I gotta ask you something because you look 25, but I feel like you're 50.
That's actually very perceptive of you. I am 50.
You are 50 years old?
Yeah, coconut
Yeah.
oil, baby.
You're lying. You're not 50
No,
years
you're
old.
not.
No way.
No, you're not.
No way.
No, I'm 36.
Dude, if you were 50, I was gonna be like, wow.
I was gonna say
good for
vampire.
You always lie up. That's the secret. Lie up. Everybody's
Gotcha.
always like, once I turn 25, I'm stopping. I'm like, pretty soon you're gonna look like a busted 25-year-old. Always lie up. People are like, oh, how old are you? As soon as that happens, I'm like 62. And they're like, God.
Oh my
No,
God.
you're not.
It's the ginger gene.
That's what it is,
Right.
man. No, yeah.
Ginger don't crack.
I've been
Ginger.
blessed
Oh my
with a
God.
baby face in the sense that like I looked like I was 12 until I was 24.
Nice.
So it's working out in this stage of my life. I feel like I'm gonna kind of like, I think it's gonna hit me overnight where I'm just gonna wake up one day and I'm gonna look 90.
Just hits you all at once. Just one night's like,
Yeah, you go to sleep and all of a sudden you're Clint Eastwood. You just shit.
oh, shit. Nah, because the reason I asked, I feel like because people appreciate or more of the original trilogy because of nostalgia. Because I'm 23 years old and I enjoyed the shit out the sequel trilogy. I enjoyed the fuck out of it.
Same.
The prequel or the sequel trilogy? Like
The sequel,
Like
The
Like
J.J.
seven-
Abrams.
seven,
The
eight,
J.J.
nine.
Abrams.
7,
Yeah.
8, and 9.
honestly, yeah.
I don't feel I didn't hate them, but I don't hate them the way that some people do, because I wouldn't consider myself just a diehard Star Wars fan.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that's fine then.
But they just weren't cohesive as a trilogy, right? Because you clearly had two different visions, like going to war with each other, and so the fact that the last one kind of negates everything that happened,
The Last Jedi.
yeah, exactly, in the Last Jedi, it kind of makes it hard to get into. It just didn't feel cohesive to me at all.
Got you.
Out of the three of them, The
That's
Force Awakens is
fine.
easily my favorite. I like The Force
Force
Awakens.
Awakens is fire.
Yeah, it's a modernized New Hope.
And then obviously, who's your favorite hero? Like, who's your favorite superhero of all time? Like, who's your GOAT? Like, this is my guy since like
Oh, you're
childhood,
Batman.
or this is my girl since childhood.
Oh, what's not a girl?
Wow.
Texas.
Wow. Canceled.
That's it. You're officially problematic. You're gonna start aging now.
You're officially problematic.
Well, I gotta say, I mean, I grew up. It'd be a toss-up between probably Batman or Wolverine.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I grew up with like my first comic was like Frank Miller's Wolverine #1.
Jesus.
Yeah, like the mini-series, and
Frank Miller's a fucking GOAT.
Yeah.
Yo,
I
He's
got to
amazing.
meet him- I got to meet him in London last year, and super
yeah,
cool.
right. Like,
Flex.
oh, I met him in
Yeah, I can't-
London.
Say it without flexing, though, right?
He's like, you see these shoulders? Yeah, Frank Miller.
Yeah,
Frank Miller.
all these celebrities that I'm meeting.
Exactly.
But no, he was super great. I love talking to him. He was a fantastic guy. He is somebody who has aged overnight. If you still remember Frank Miller from like Sin City days, that is not what Frank looks like.
Wait, are you serious? Did he
Yeah.
age like an
Yeah,
avocado?
that-
Oh, I don't want to be mean. I like Frank a lot, but I mean,
And I
Yes.
like avocados. So
Like
relax.
Stephen A. Smith? I like Frank. I like Frank a lot. I know his mother.
but yeah, he's looking old these days for sure.
Man.
Who's your favorite celebrity that you've gotten to meet or to speak with? Because I remember watching when you spoke with Mark Henry, and I thought that was really dope. I thought that was a dope conversation. Like you guys were just chilling, like honestly, like Mark Henry was just sitting outside. Oh, that was just fucking dope. And like this was at one point the world's strongest man.
Yeah. I try to have conversations like that with everybody. I just try to like be real chill and
Hell yeah.
and not put people up on a pedestal too much and just because I think that they get sick of that a little bit, you know.
Yeah,
100%.
Absolutely.
press junkets are annoying. We know that.
And that's kind of why we modeled, like that's kind of how we got the name. You know, it's like Chillin' with Villains. Like we want whoever comes on to have a good vibe. Like we're not butchering them. We're like, oh, this and that. It's like, nah, like, you know, we just keep the ideas flowing, and that's what it is, you know.
No, it feels good. It feels real nice. I feel right and relaxed. I should have been off here 11 minutes ago, but I'm.
But who's counting, right?
I'd have to say for me personally, just as a comic, meeting Jim Carrey was like.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, and he praised you, right? Didn't he like laugh at one of your jokes or like?
I made him laugh a couple times during.
Wow.
How great did that feel? That must have felt like fucking.
Nobody can ever tell me that I'm not funny. Ever.
Exactly.
Right.
No, that's it, dude.
Right, that's
Yeah.
it, exactly.
It's like, oh,
That's
have you made Jim
exactly-
Carrey laugh? No? Okay, then be quiet.
Then you can just go fuck the hell off.
Exactly.
But
Dude, Jim Carrey,
Jim was
man.
amazing. And what did I say to him? I know one of the questions that got him was I asked him like how many times since he made Ace Ventura people have tried to talk to him with their butt crack. And he laughed at that and was like, surprisingly few. And I was like, well, I'm sorry I didn't start the interview off that way. I thought you would have been sick of that by now. And yeah, he was great. I love Jim Carrey so much. And it's like, because I was kind of on the fence about meeting him, like, because I've heard so many stories about him being such a weird dude, right? You never know, like
Very eccentric. Yep.
Yeah, very eccentric. And but he couldn't have been nicer. He was so nice. You know, it was like one of the coolest 10 minutes of my life just getting to hang out and chat with him.
Man,
That's awesome.
Jim Carrey, man.
I got a question too, Chris.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite comic of all time?
My favorite comedian?
Yeah.
Probably.
We don't want to offend.
Probably Steve Martin, if I had to.
Wow, Steve Martin.
Wow.
What a
I don't,
dope.
that's not one you hear often.
I was expecting
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy.
He's underrated, Steve.
So
I feel like.
much so. I mean, if you go back and I mean, the reason you don't hear about him as much anymore is because I mean, obviously he was like, it was the 70s, but that dude reached levels that like no comedian had ever reached before. I mean, he was a superstar in the 70s. People don't remember that, but that dude was selling out like arenas and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But his stuff is still so funny. Like Wild and Crazy Guy, that album is so good. I like comedians that are I like silly comedians. I like party comics. You know, I loved Eddie Murphy. I thought his specials were great. I like Dane Tosh is really funny. I like that guy.
All right.
I love Bill Burr is one of my favorite comedians.
Oh,
right
Bill
now.
Burr's
Bill
great.
Burr.
Yeah.
Bill
Yeah,
Burr's
he's
fantastic.
great.
No, wait. Ginga's got to stick together, man.
That was
Yeah.
But Chris,
support.
Chris, before we let you go, because I know you got to head to bed for those daily distractions tomorrow. So speaking of that, like still in the comedy world, like, do you think there's a big difference between, because I was thinking about it like this, because Steve Carell, has he done stand-up? No, right? Or not, at least not to my knowledge. I don't know. But the dude on screen, like on film, on shows, is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But do you think that would transition? Do you think a guy like him, especially because he's just funny in general, would transition well to stand-up? Or how do you balance that?
No, I don't think that. I think Steve Carell's an improv guy.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
and so most comedians are either stand up or they're improv. It's very rarely that I see somebody who can do both. You're good at one or the other, and I think it might just be which one you kind of come up in. But you can watch Saturday Night Live, and there's a pretty solid track record of guys like the stand-ups were traditionally not very good at being on Saturday Night Live. They were great Weekend Update guys,
Yeah.
but they weren't great sketch guys.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and I think Steve Carell, super funny. I tell you, I've seen so many sketch guys try to do stand-up, and it's
Doesn't
terrible.
work, right?
Doesn't
It's
work.
terrible. I've opened up for a lot of Saturday Night Live guys. I don't know if I want to name any names, but they were terrible.
Wow.
Shoot them shots.
Yeah. So guys from SNL bomb?
One guy in particular, I watched on Saturday Night Live. He's still on Saturday Night Live, by the way. And I opened up for him in Michigan. I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. And there was like 1,000 people there, and I watched him walk about 500 people 10 minutes into his set. He was so bad.
Wow.
Yikes.
Wow.
I never
That's
heard of
crazy.
I've heard of comedians bombing like that, but every time I feel it's just a miscommunication in vibes, because I don't know, maybe your set is bad, maybe the audience is or being a bunch of assholes, because
It could be that for sure, but he wasn't funny. I was watching.
Chris was like, nope.
Nah.
This was not the audience.
This ain't it.
Got it.
So do you prefer colleges? Like, are you hesitant to do college gigs though? Like,
No, colleges is like primarily what I do anymore, because they pay good money, and it's one show versus like a comedy club where it's like, 4 or 5
Various
nights.
shows,
yeah.
And so I can just kind of fly in, do one show, fly out, and I'm done, because I don't have a lot of time anymore. With comic book, I don't have time to be at a comedy club for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
So,
Is it like the same bit every time you do it?
I'd say like 60 to 70% the same, and then I kind of like mess
You
around.
do some crowd work, right?
You like
just
tweak it,
Yeah.
because like you kind of experimented with this crowd.
I'm testing new stuff out, or whatever, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, something I've learned from listening to a lot of comedians, because I follow Joe Rogan, I follow
Hell yeah.
Bill Burr and all that, and they're always talking about how they need to go do some crowd work, and they need to go to the Comedy Store and work some shit out, because they feel almost useless if they're just sitting at home not working on comedy,
Yeah, honestly, if it wasn't for distraction, I would feel that exact same way. I think a distraction kind of gives me that creative outlet to keep writing and to keep doing. I mean, even though it's a very finite, that's not the word. That's not a word at all. Even though the focus is very specific,
Yeah.
and I'm doing like nerd jokes, it's still the same sort of thing. And then I get, and then when people like the show or whatever, I feel like I kind of get that reaction back, like where from, it's no different than when you're doing stand up and you get applause and all that kind of stuff. It's the same,
Yeah.
same sort of thing when you get positive feedback and people are enjoying what you're doing. And so if it wasn't for distraction, I think I would 100% be miserable right now. I would have gone crazy.
Insane.
It's giving me something it's kind of giving me something to focus on and still, use as a creative outlet.
Okay.
Chris, man, plug in, your Instagram, your Twitter, your YouTube. Is there somewhere where people can go and find you on YouTube or wherever to watch some of your stand-ups?
Yes. Yeah. You can search for me and find me on YouTube, but I warn you, my stuff is old. I have not put up any new stuff since I've been at Comic Book. I've just been too busy, and it sucks. I feel like a real shitty stand-up comic saying that, but
It's all good,
I've
man.
got new stuff. I've written new stuff since then. I've done it at shows, but I just haven't filmed it and put it up. So everything that's on my stand-up YouTube page is probably at least 5 years old. But hopefully still funny. I don't know. I got some heckler videos on there that are fun.
So what about your Instagram and Twitter? Plug
Yeah,
it
so
in there
Twitter,
for the people.
it's just my name at Chris Killian. I got a little blue check, so you can. That's me. So you know it's
Flex,
not.
another flex.
It's not a phony. But Instagram, I don't have one, and I
That's
love Instagram
bullshit.
so much more. Instagram's bullshit. But yeah,
We say it all the time. Don't worry about it.
A comedy because somebody has the name Chris Killian taken.
Oh, what a douchebag!
Wait,
Change
what?
your
He's
name.
been on there. I don't think he's been on there because I go check on that guy every now and then.
Like, dude, can you
He
give
hasn't
me this,
posted in,
please?
like 3 years, and I'm like, well, you just close
Give me the
it.
account. Yeah.
Just close it, dude. You're not even using it.
Oh, that sucks.
But,
Man,
so at Chris Killian on Twitter and at CK Comedy on Instagram, and I'm usually pretty good at responding to messages. So if anybody wants to hit me up and say hi or anything like that, I like talking to everybody.
Awesome,
Awesome.
man. Well, thank you once again for coming. We really appreciate it. We hope you had a great time the way we did. Don't let anyone tell you you're not funny.
Because you made Jim Carrey laugh.
Because Jim Carrey made you laugh. You made us laugh. So, keep
Thanks,
the
guys.
grind.
This was a pleasure. You guys got a real nice, warm, and cozy feeling here. I like the vibe. So
I appreciate it. You're welcome anytime. And whenever the world opens up again, or at least the United States, let me correct myself, because Europe's doing their thing. So whenever the U.S. opens up and you're ever in New York, you can come through, chill with us. We'll do a show. We'll watch some BVS Ultimate Edition. It'll be a great fucking time.
let's do it.
All right,
Thank
my
you
guy.
guys
man.
very much.
Yeah, thank you, man.
All right,
Peace.
bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.
So once again, we just want to reiterate, thank you, Chris Killian, for coming on. He left. He had to catch some Z's. Y'all could catch his daily distractions daily. But no, yeah. So we're just gonna break down a couple of news that dropped. I think nothing crazy, but I think the biggest thing just happened a couple of hours ago. So as we all know, Ruby Rose stepped down from the role of Batwoman. She still hasn't really specified why, but she just said for her personal reasons. So we have a new actress taking the role. This new actress is African American. So I applaud the CW because, hate it or love it, the CW takes a lot of I don't even want to call it risk. They're just like, fuck you.
Diverse.
Right. We're like, fuck you. We don't care what you think. We think who is right for the role is going to get the role, and that's it. Her name is, I don't want to butcher her first name. Can anyone else say her first name for me?
Tell me.
It's Javicia.
Javicia.
Yes, sir. Is it
Javicia.
Is it Javicia?
Javicia?
Javicia.
That sounds right.
Javicia
Javacia.
Leslie. Javacia. Yeah.
Javacia.
Javacia Leslie has been casted as the lead in Batwoman for season 2. So congrats to her. She is known for her roles in God Friended Me and Always a Bridesmaid. I haven't watched either, but regardless, this is exciting news. I wish her the best. I hope she kills it. I hope they take the right approach in terms of obviously they're not using her as Kate Kane, but she will take up.
I was gonna ask. I don't know shit about CW right now.
Right.
So what's going on? Like, are
Yeah,
you gonna
Mark.
kill her off, Mark?
Right.
That's not my division anymore.
Well, I think I think what they're intending to do is part of the season 2 plot is Kate Kane, aka Batwoman, goes missing. And so they need somebody new in Gotham, and she's gonna take over. And they did introduce Bruce Wayne. Apparently, I haven't finished it yet. Spoiler warning. Sorry, should have said that beforehand. But yeah, so we'll see where they go. If they're able to tie it in nicely, I'm down for that.
All right.
Also, The Boys season 2 teaser trailer dropped today.
Fire.
Ariel, no spoilers, obviously, but man, this shit is, I think, even going to be way more gruesome, way more crazier than season 1 was.
It's gonna be 8 episodes again, right?
Yes, they're dropping the first 3 on release date September 4th, and then
That's
they're
awesome.
doing weeklies.
Oh, I'm
that's
busy.
weird.
I'm busy that whole weekend. I can't. I'm
Oh
gonna be
man,
watching
they,
The Boys.
Is that how they did the first season?
nah. The first season they dropped the whole thing.
No, but the reason they're doing this is especially because of COVID, just to kind of
Yeah,
Get more people.
space it out. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I've been fucking with Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol is like
releasing-
that right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I like that.
And speaking of which, Doom Patrol season 2 has been fantastic.
I love
It's
it.
been-
I
it's
love
been
it.
so good. It's been like
Look
You're
at
I
Mark.
gotta-
Look
I
at
gotta
Mark.
catch
you're
up.
just, dude, you're just
Mr.
watching it.
DC. Mr.
You're-
DC, dude.
You're just watching it, and you're kind of just like,
I gotta
what
catch
the
up.
fuck am I watching? But at the same time, the characters are like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Yeah, it's
And that makes it so much better because it's
Yeah.
sort of like a Deadpool vibe that they kind of know the shit that's going on is weird,
yeah.
but the storytelling and like the way you kind of feel for the characters, you feel.
Yeah.
I'm talking me personally. I feel for every single one of them. Like I can relate.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
every
for
single one of
sure.
them on a
Yeah.
certain
Yeah,
level.
me too.
Especially when you find out.
This guy, bro.
Well, look, go watch the show, guys. Doom Patrol's great.
Yeah.
And
I
is there anything
think
else?
in terms of comic world? No. Well, Christopher Nolan says he doesn't want to delay Tenet any further than it already like has been. But,
Christopher,
right.
te voy a decir
So
una cosa, mijo.
right, we love you, Christopher Nolan. Pero
But-
like, so he
No.
says he told Warner Brothers in early June he didn't want to delay Tenet due to his desire to be one of the first major films back in theaters and to show solidarity with exhibitors. Chris, I get it, but
You're
yo,
not really
we don't-
showing solidarity if
we
you
don't-
want us to go.
right.
Aye.
We don't want to expose people to. I'm telling you right now, if it's still as bad as it is right now, I don't care if Tenet comes out. I will wait. I will wait till it comes out. On whatever.
Well,
like
remember-
I will even buy it. I will fucking buy it and stream it at my house.
See,
but
but
I'm
this
not
is-
sitting at a movie theater.
I
This
wouldn't
is
have
also-
a problem with that. Yeah.
But this
Yeah,
is also
same.
an issue: is that studios need to adapt to the climate. Yo, peep
This has
out.
changed everything, dude. This has
Just
changed everything.
yeah, just look. If you can't drop it, put it out for rent. I will pay for it. I will gladly pay to watch
100%.
Tenet.
How many people are at home just waiting? Like,
Come on, man.
and they don't have to do it in August. They could do it like in 2 weeks.
Well,
Like,
apparently,
right.
remember
And just
that
start promo
article I
now.
sent? Remember that article I sent you that said that Warner Brothers plans on keeping Tenet in theaters as long as they can because there are no other movies out right now.
Yeah,
that are
but
being
but
released.
it's dumb. It's not gonna make as much money as they're gonna expect.
But
it
the
to.
thing is, if they do
Uh,
keep it in theaters, if
I'm
they
gonna
do
watch
keep
it.
yeah, if they
in
do keep it-
theaters,
Yes.
he has
If you don't-
antibodies.
I don't care about that. I'm gonna go watch it. Y'all gotta understand that. I don't know. Y'all are at home. Like Mark is scared because of his parents. Ariel actually got it. I never got it. And no one around me ever got it. People at work got it, but they're back and they're chilling. And I work with 1,000 people every day, and there have been no cases. And I
but
work
dude,
in the
that's not
city.
point.
Yo, back up
That's
from the
not
mic
the
a little
point.
bit, bro. Chill.
The point is it's gonna keep spreading, and
But it
it's
has-
never gonna
I
never gonna
know.
stop. It's never going to stop unless people.
I am
Nah,
not
he works for the
Stay
C-
the
he works for the
fuck
CDC. He
home.
works for the CDC. Chill.
I am not defending it, bro.
But you're
I'm
going
just
to
saying.
the movies.
Because I'm not scared. I'm not scared. That's
It's
Nah,
why.
that's
he
not
works
the
for the CDC.
point.
Let
That's
him
not- the point is
cook.
not to
Let
be
him
scared.
cook.
The point is, all right.
Let
Another
him
news.
cook.
Another news.
Let him cook.
HBO and HBO Max. There's upcoming movies coming in August, including Jojo Rabbit releasing August 1st on HBO Max.
That's gonna be lit.
Richard Jewell. Richard Jewell releasing August 8th. Queen and Slim releasing August 22nd.
Oh,
and
I'm gonna check
Ben Affleck's The Way Back releasing August 29th.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, it came out in March. Nobody saw that.
That's right. And Birds of Prey will be releasing on HBO Max on August 15th as well.
Nice.
Oh.
Yes.
Nice.
So we got a couple of those. And then
Only
the
took
last
6 months. That's not
the
bad.
last big news, Marvel Studios is reportedly sitting Comic-Con at Home out. They
And
will not
DC
have
too, right?
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
why they're
Oh.
having DC fandom.
Uh-huh.
So now this kind of brings up the question, and we could go further into detail at another date. what's going to start happening with Comic-Con if their two biggest stars aren't there, Marvel and DC, you know?
Well, Mark could speak for his side of things. So I don't know if he wants to tell us.
I
DC
think
side of
I
things.
think like I brought this up when we were talking about DC fandom. I think it's gonna change things where it's the fact where it's like they're noticing how much hype. Like look at Sony's event, right? The Sony event that generated so much hype for the PS5, yada yada yada, right?
Right.
Xbox is gonna be doing their own thing soon, and then like I think with DC fandom, they're gonna create so much fucking hype that people are gonna start realizing that it's like, you know what? Why would I have this? Why would I go to like San Diego Comic Con and do like have to choose like pick and choose what I can do when I can just do my own event and show
release
everything.
Do you
everything.
think they'll have like a DC fandom after
And
Corona
and especially
Maybe.
speaking from the Marvel side
at
of
the
things.
Javits Center?
Hopefully.
That'd be dope.
But like just DC?
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
just like or like Warner Brothers or whatever or
That'd be
something.
crazy.
Because where's D20?
massive.
Where's D23?
That's in Cali.
Cali.
Bullshit. Bring something to the East Coast. Yeah. We
Yeah.
talked about this before, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like it's just so funny, right? How like DC and Marvel are just opposite on like especially like let's say DC fandom does get pushed, like becomes a thing afterwards, and they do come to the East Coast.
Mhm.
It's like they're just opposite on everything, and I love it
Wait,
because we get two different sides of things.
And on top of it being better to just have a digital kind of con, is that they're not spending as much money. Because remember, when they go to these centers for cons and stuff, they have to pay for a space. They have to pay for probably a crew to
But-
go and set shit up.
Dude, you know how much money they probably bank off that shit. You know how many fucking
but-
people go? And
Yeah,
how
that's
many
what I'm
people buy
saying,
All the,
yeah.
all the shit.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They have to leverage these things. They either miss out on revenue or get streams. What do you choose there?
Right.
But because even if they were to stream the Comic-Con online, you can still have ads. You can still run ads during the stream and stuff. So
Right, that's true too.
They could figure out a way. I'm currently working on Guardians of the Galaxy 3 with James Gunn, so we will not be at the panel. I'm telling y'all right now. No Guardians at the panel for Marvel, and you're not gonna really hear much. But we might get something from Sony. That's my Ariel Damas prediction.
At CCC.
At Comic-Con. Yeah, you could get Sony could sneak some shit in there because if anything, they could steal the hype and go,
Yeah.
oh, this is the Morbius shit that we got so far. This is the Venom 2 shit we got so far that everyone's so excited to see.
That's true.
We got the
Oh, and actually, since Spider-Man is our character, boom, we're gonna show a little bit of this too.
Into the Spider-Verse 2. You could have the cast members come on and go, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, show their draft
Yeah.
class.
That's
It's gonna
true.
be cool.
Well, the boys is having their own panel, so we're probably gonna get one full final trailer before because it's coming out in a
Damn, September 4th. So
Yeah. So I mean that's basically all the news that's dropped as of recent. There's been a couple of There's been a lot of DC rumors floating around. Ariel, some of the shit you're probably just gonna be like, what? So
let me fold my leg.
I'm just gonna put it out there just to put it out there. But these are just speculation. These are just rumors. A Zatanna film is in development. What's it called? A Constantine film is in development with Keanu Reeves to return. Right. This all just sounds like bullshit.
Wait,
But-
Keanu's coming back?
So then that means we're gonna have to watch the first one. We're gonna have to do that anyway. But so those are basically the two. What the headlines were saying, and I'm not gonna quote anybody on anything because I feel like this is 100% false. Is they're trying to do the Marvel route, but with the Justice League Dark characters. So
Yeah, I
they'll
was
drop-
just thinking that.
They'll drop a Zatanna solo, a Constantine solo, a whatever solo, and then they'll do a big Justice League Dark team up.
That's lit. Okay.
I wouldn't mind, but I still think the reports, if it's not from the big news headlines, I'm not gonna believe it just because you have a check mark on your Twitter account. Shout out
Right.
to Chris Killian.
And
though,
also,
because he
I
has
don't
one.
want to talk shit about Zatanna because she washed me in Injustice 2. No smoke.
Right. So, and then I believe we discussed already that DC will be having 2 secret movies, right? At DC.
Yeah,
Fandom.
we
All
talked
right.
about that.
So that's all I'm waiting for.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and the last thing officially, because I know I said that the last 3 times. So Ray Fisher spoke out on why he hasn't elaborated more on what he said about Joss, and that's because he is still under contract. So that's why he hasn't
Wait,
said
on
that
much.
Joss is
NBA.
still on the
No,
contract?
no,
or
no,
that-
no, no, no. Ray.
He is.
So what? He's probably not going to be able to talk until what, next year?
Well, depends because he's apparently in the Flash film. So if
Yeah,
they're
he
gonna
can't.
choose
He
to,
can't say anything then.
he already put it out there. But this Justice League documentary that's gonna come out in a
The
couple
30
of
for
years
30
is gonna be phenomenal. It's gonna be phenomenal.
The Last Dance,
But-
but with Justice League.
Right? Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. That should be the name. But no, like, so there was another point I wanted to make to bring that up. What was it? It was relating to that, to the Snyder. Oh, he will be at that Justice Con that, all like the Snyder fans really care about, but not so much anybody else. But Zach is going to be there. Ray Fisher's going to be there. Who fucking knows? Maybe they'll drop a little some, or they'll announce a little some because they're there. Zach, he literally said, oh, that's another thing. When he posted that Batman picture on Vero from the Nightmare scene, and it's like, oh, he's on HBO Max, like he's 100% real. What's it called? He was answering a lot of fan questions like he typically does on Vero, and one of them were like, oh, like, is this movie fully yours, or like, is there any sort of compromise you have to make? He's like, nope, 100% all me. So like,
That shit better be rated R, or I'm swinging.
like that's one so he confirmed we're getting the OG Steppenwolf design.
Lit.
We're not getting that bummy I don't even know what that was. We are getting Papa Kent is coming back. That is confirmed. What was I said that to you guys the other day? There was a bunch of other shit where we all were fucking hyped about. Did I send it in the? Well, I probably sent it in the spoiler chat, so you won't see it.
Oh, okay.
Where is it?
And he also deleted Instagram, so that might also be a reason.
Right. Like
Guys,
when? Oh, right here, I
listen.
found it.
Listen,
the-
space is great.
The original Junkie XL score. More. Why are you being sarcastic about that?
Because I don't know what
It's
the
not
original.
Feige. It's
I
not
don't know.
Feige.
I don't know what the original score sounded like. It got leaked.
Well,
right?
he worked with yes, but that shit sounded dope, right? That shit sounded fat.
No, I never heard it.
He worked with Hans on Man of Steel
Yeah,
and
and BVS.
BVS.
Yeah,
So that shit's gonna be godly. More nightmare sequences.
Wait, this is all confirmed, or
This is all that Zach said, like
In Green
so
Lantern.
far. Well, yeah, but that was like already known. Like these are just new stuff that he said when he was answering fan questions on Vero.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, and
I was gonna ask where he was. All right.
oh, and a new tease coming before DC Fandom. So that's what reminded me that it's probably coming at Justice Con, which is at the end of this month. So we're probably getting another teaser, and then we'll probably get a full trailer at DC Fandom.
Lit.
So get ready, y'all. I know you're not gonna watch any of it, Ariel, but we're gonna watch it. We're gonna fucking talk about it.
You might as well watch it, dude.
No,
Nah. Don't.
I'm already getting hype fatigue from this. I'm not gonna watch the trailer now.
But that's pretty much it on news. I'm pretty sure tomorrow something's gonna drop too, like something crazy. I don't know. Like, I feel like he'll drop a teaser tomorrow because why not? Fuck it. He could. AT&T is like, Zach, do whatever the fuck you want. It's your content.
Word.
Like, what if like at my biggest hope at least is like that they're like, Zach, anything DC related that's on HBO Max is yours. Like, how fucking dope would that be? And him working with J.J. Abrams. him and JJ collabing on a Justice League Dark. All right, I'm out. I've said too much.
All right.
I've said too much. That's
I'm
just
taking
amazing.
I'll take a Junior to Arkham after this trailer comes out.
Bro,
You won't be able to handle it.
I really wouldn't. Like if that
It's
the
gonna be
news
like,
that dropped.
We need a straight jacket for him, bro.
Oh man. But yeah, y'all. So that's pretty much it. So next, what we got coming up. So we got Ariel and Mark will be doing a nice Last of Us Part 2, bunch of fake phonies.
We don't have time. We don't have time to wait till next year for you to beat the game.
You know why? Because I thought the video game podcast was going to be an overall.
Nah. This is a prequel, bro. This is a prequel podcast.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
So y'all let us know when we do an actual video game podcast, and I could put my input on EA Sports games, and we're fine.
EA Sports Games correspondent.
It'd be no. I won't because I beat Spider-Man. So we'll talk about that too.
Right, we'll talk about that 3 years later.
Oh! Thank you for reminding me. The official last news that we'll put out there.
Okay.
Xbox might be getting the rights to Batman or some bullshit. That's some fucking bullshit because I'm about to have to drop money on an Xbox now.
Wait, what?
Because they're looking to buy Warner Brothers games because they just
Warner Brothers is like whatever. Fuck this.
So they're looking. So Microsoft is looking to buy it, and if they buy it, that means
Xbox
it is exclusive for Xbox, baby.
Let me know how the game is.
Yeah, you're fucking sick, bro.
No, I'm not. Sick. I will move on just fine in life,
dude. The next Batman games to be fucking fire. I hope you know that.
I'm sure they will be.
Facts.
Listen, if I don't have IG, I don't have an Xbox. I'm doing great.
Bro, I think people need to just start putting more respect on Terry McGinnis's name. Like they
I hope it's Batman Beyond.
No,
so sick.
No,
Cyberpunk and Batman Arkham kind of mix. That'd be so sick. Cyberpunk is a video game that's coming out. Cyberpunk 26.
But then next Wednesday, y'all, we got we're doing we're going back with Was It Really That Bad? And we're doing
we're doing it?
Yeah, why not? We got two more. We have two more requests to do. We've made it this far. Now we have the worst of the worst. Like Brian said, the final boss is coming. Like we got Steppenwolf as Venom, and we got Darkseid as fucking Constantine. That's basically what this is.
I'm gonna dread this a lot.
Yes, I as well. And then Sunday, June 18th.
July 18th.
Oh, wow.
19th.
He's a time traveler.
Yes.
July 19th, we have DCU News joining the podcast.
Yes, we are. And that's the lineup. And our draft is coming soon, hopefully. So yeah, y'all, if I were you, I would please just, wear a mask. That way we can all start recording in person because it's safe. And wash your fucking hands. If you pee, wash your hands. If you touch something, wash your fucking hands. It's that simple. Don't listen to me, though. Listen to fucking Europe. Because their cases are low as shit. And we're averaging 50,000 a day.
Who's super sick? The president of Brazil.
Facts, he got that shit. No pun intended.
We get bunda head, bro.
Bunda head.
All right.
But that's all for today, y'all. Thank y'all so much for chilling with us. We'll see y'all next week.
Rest in peace, Vanessa Guillen.